Healing sexual wounds together as a couple can only happen when you're both willing to and you're both committed to safety. Now, what does safety entail? So keep watching, because we're going to break down exactly what safety means, and we're also going to break down how you can be present to each other when physical intimacy has been a challenge, where the barriers of safety and sexuality have crisscrossed in unhealthy or in volatile or in really abrupt ways. And so the only kind of physical intimacy you know is often associated with a disempowerment of self. And so you're either cherishing safety, then feel less than in your sexual expression, or you're pursuing sexual expression that doesn't quite feel safe. And so when you both come together in partnership and one of you or both of you have experienced challenges in sexuality, challenges in physical intimacy, because maybe there's been abuse there, or maybe there has been non-consensual experiences that you've had, or maybe you haven't been able to use your voice and be in your power when it comes to your body, when it comes to sexual expression and intimacy in that way. How do you, as a partnership that is in a healthy-ish dynamic, at the very least you're both aware of the stuff that's happened to you and how it's impacting you today, and you're both willing and wanting to create greater safety in that space? Well, how do you do it? Well, communication is a starting point, and it's key. So communicating what your needs are, communicating what your agreements are when it comes to physical intimacy, and also communicating what you're committed to. So let's go into commitments for a moment. Are you committed to seeking support outside the container of the relationship? Are you committed to working on these wounds? Are you committed to sharing yourself vulnerably and openly? Are you committed to not using defensive tactics when you're pushed up against your edge, but rather share openly and with compassion and non-judgment and calmly, so that your nervous system and your partner's nervous system optimize for regulation? Are you committed to focusing on a regulated nervous system? Because that's a big part of it as well. Are you both committed to honoring the agreements that you make, irrespective of what they are, but they're personal to you? Are you perhaps committed to seeking help and guidance together? Are you committed to being honest about what your desires are, what your fantasies are, what some of your pain points and fears are? And are you willing to show more of yourself to your partner? This all supports in creating safety. Are you willing to build trust through consistency in your behaviors and consistency in how you're actively and proactively helping yourself change and shift your relationship to past experiences? Now, from this place, you can create some magic. You can actually really be with each other in quite meaningful ways, especially if you're willing, maybe this is the most important part, to get uncomfortable. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean getting uncomfortable by facing your demons, by facing your fears, by slowly, of course slowly. So we titrate and we pendulate into change, into behavioral change and relational adaptations, meaning that we move really slow when we're changing, making changes in how we relate out physically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, relationally to self and to each other. And we pendulate. We take ourselves to the edge of discomfort when it comes to change, this new behavior that we're doing, because it can feel very scary and unfamiliar for the ego, very fearful. When it feels just a little too much, we're on the edge there, the window of tolerance, we pull ourselves back. We may do that through somatic practice, through breath, through gentle touch, through agreements that we have with each other. This builds greater safety. This builds the capacity for a nervous system that can hold more. This also builds deeper trust. This also builds a capacity for deeper pleasure and sustainable pleasure at that. It also builds the opportunity to be more honest with each other. And the more we practice honesty in safe spaces that can meet us in non-judgment and compassion and curiosity, the more we grow out of patterns that no longer serve us and that are actually painful. How can we both get what we want, but also give to our partners what they desire? And it's not about finding the middle ground. It's about dancing with this. Something I help couples with in really deep ways, especially when there's past trauma that's associated with their present self, and that's interfering or blocking deeper levels of intimacy, irrespective of how they wish to express their intimacy. And if this is something that you're interested in, you can always go to coachwithsteph.com to apply. There is a wait list, of course, and I look at every application really seriously. So if this is something that has been a sticking point for you in your journey to intimacy, then reach out. May be a fit.